just can't wipe this grin off my face. Yeah, we won. We won. St. Augustine's won the National Science and Maths Quiz for 2019, and the excitement, I mean, honestly, I don't know how long it's going to take me to get over it, especially because those responsible for that victory are here with us. I'm excited because we're about to have a conversation about the most important quiz in Ghana, and we've got all the key people here to help us get to grips with this all-important topic. So, Dr. Kaufman, how nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming this year. And of course we have Nanikia from Prime Time. And we have the boys who lifted the trophy, and of course their handler, one of the teachers from St. Augustine's. Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Right. Oh, goodness. So excited. But I have a feeling I'm not the only one who enjoyed themselves yesterday. You seem to be having a pretty good time, though.
Yes, I always do. It doesn't matter who comes, I have a good time.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But tell me about this year. You know, what's been different for you?
I don't know if there's been anything that different. You know, every year it's a little bit more challenging because it's like a race. The students are catching up with us and we need to be a step ahead at all times. So maybe slightly more expectations out of the students, but they lived up to expectations.
Yeah. Now, yesterday's final, I'm glad I started with you because this was something that stuck in my mind. Yesterday's final was won by less than 40 points. You know, and comparing that to the performance of these three schools in particular throughout this tournament, you know, St. Augustine got 76 points in one of the, was it at the 1/8 stage? Prelims, yeah, 76 points. You know. So I wonder how that struck you. Do you think that the questions were more challenging this year?
No, every year it's like that. So if you take the questions we present to the regions and the prelims, you can't compare those to the questions we present at the finals. They are simply not the same level. So we actually graduate them.
Right.
So we have a certain level for the regional competitions, then we have a level for the prelims, very close, and then 1/8 we move up a little bit, and then by quarterfinals we actually have more questions, so more opportunities to get more answers and then get more points.
Yes.
But it doesn't happen because the level of difficulty also goes up.
That's true.
And typically in our finals we have a score 30s and 40s. That's been normal. It's nothing unusual. But the fact that they got the same types of scores this year, when we have increased the difficulty level, means that the students are also improving.
Oh, well, that's I guess that's a good indicator as well.
Yes.
Let me come to you, Nanikia. You're happy, right? It went well. Yes.
I'm very happy for all sorts of reasons. I'm very happy with the turnout. We had a lot of people there. The place was full. I was very happy that it was incident-free because we were worried about security and safety of everybody in there. I mean, as organizers, you take responsibility for all those things. So once it was incident-free, it was fun. People enjoyed themselves. We had our winner. Everything went according to plan. I'm very happy and very relieved.
No doubt. Now that it's all over, you can sit back and go and watch the replays, right?
Not at this moment. This is where we do the cleaning up.
That's
so
true.
When we break camp tomorrow, there are reports to be done and submitted to the sponsors, and there are reviews to be done because we have to review our performance. We have to review the performance of the schools. So we do different kinds of reviews. We have to review the organization of the program, what things we could have done better, what things we can improve on. And all those things are important because they help to improve the quality of the program. You saw that this year we had medals for the finalists.
Yes,
we haven't done that before. Yes, look at our new customized trophy.
It's so heavy, eh?
It is.
Yeah.
It's solid and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And we had the interactive boards for the first time,
yeah.
which is another innovation. So we aim at constantly improving, and you cannot improve unless you review what you've done. So that's another kind of work we are going to be doing.
Speaking of the trophy, I hope you know we're not giving it back.
You have to give it back.
3, 4, 5
Oh,
years
right.
ago,
Okay, great.
you're not
So
getting it back.
so the thing about the trophy is that this is not the only one. We have a smaller version, a miniature version of it. So when we take this trophy back, you will be giving the miniature to keep in your school to show everybody what you did in 2019.
All right. So it's after we win it the third time
that you can keep this one. Yes.
Right. So you keep it for us. Right? Now, 4 people who I don't have to ask whether they are happy or not are our contestants, and of course their coach. But before I talk to you guys, let's just have a look at how St. Augustine's lifted the trophy this year.
A charged auditorium of the National Theatre ready to witness a historic National Science and Math Quiz finale involving St. Peter's, St. Augustine's College and Presec Legon. It was a slow start for the finalists, and quite visibly, a wave of jitters swept through the packed auditorium.
At an old age, most of these cells and muscles would have gone, reducing the power and efficiency of the muscles.
I'm not accepting it. For a bonus.
Quiz mistress Dr. Elsie Efa Kaufman would call for calm to help contestants settle and keep their focus.
Before we start the next round, please take a moment to take a deep breath and calm down.
Maybe the hopes and expectations of the schools weighed a load on them, a dream to have a 6th for Presec, to stamp the authority and win a back-to-back for the 3-time champion St. Peter's, and of course to win a 2nd in 12 years for St. Augustine's. In the eyes of the contestants, you could see desire. It would be a close contest up until the 3rd round. And with an NSMQ Star Award at stake in the 3rd round for a school to obtain a perfect score about a question on Down syndrome, the outcome was near fatal.
As for mentioning estrogen, I'm giving you 1 point. You also went around and around and around. I can only give you 1 point for mentioning mutation. 1. Who realized the link between this condition? No, don't be so enthusiastic. You realize the link between this condition and non-disjunction. So I can only offer you 1 point.
At this stage, St. Augustine's would keep at least an 8-point lead, Presec following closely, and then St. Peter's in 3rd. Then the defining round, the round of the substitutes.
Selassie, all the best. Hey.
Super sub for Augusco, Newton, Jimmy, Steven, and Nathaniel Yalmensa of Presec will be ushered in. And right at it, they got the crowds chanting with the first few correct answers to the true-false questions. A few anxious and sometimes nervy moments will follow. Augusco would get a couple of their answers wrong.
X is greater than 6 is 4. The particles eventually collide if U subscript big A multiplying A subscript big A is equal to U subscript big B multiplying A subscript big B. Go ahead.
False.
No. That's a
At the end of the 4th, a gap of at least 8 was slashed to 2.
At the end of the 4th round, St. Peter's Senior High School has 25 points. Presec Legon has 34 points. St. Augustine's College has 36 points.
With Nathaniel leading a Presec fight back.
The particles eventually collide if U subscript big A is equal to U subscript big B? Yes, Nathaniel.
False.
Yes.
Hard as St. Peter's pulled up, they were unable to simply catch up, leaving the fifth round going to the wire and the two-horse race between Augusto and Presec. At this stage, the Presec fans were optimistic a comeback was possible. But Newton and Co would hold on to the end. 39, 34, 25. The 2018 champions would not retain the trophy. And as PESCO contestant Michael Obin declared in the beginning,
Michael, I have to ask you, are you seeing Egyptians around today?
It is written. In the book of John, chapter 19, verse 30. And when Jesus had therefore taken the vinegar, he said 3 words. It is finished.
a new champion.
Congratulations on winning the contest. You did it.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the new trophy for the National Science and Maths Quiz is going to St. Augustine Senior High School.
Fulfilled contestants.
Don't really taste, but you just have to complete everything. So
when you got a few of your true or false wrong, how did you feel?
I was still hoping that things would be better because our coordinators have talked to us that as far as the contest is not over yet, don't give up. So I was still having that feeling in me that we will be able to make it.
Brag-ready old students.
So we've won, proving to the whole world that yes, we are the best. We are elated. Wow. Yes. We are happy beyond measure. Yes. We are at cloud 9. Yes. We are happy than happier.
And a whole new resolve to go and return stronger next year.
So the knowledge-filled, money-rich, Dubai-bound winners of the National Science and Maths Quiz for 2019 are here, and it's so nice to see you. The third time I'm seeing you in 24 hours, and I still can't get enough. Of course, I'm talking about Joseph Newton and Eliasson. And they're here with their handler, their coordinator, Mr. Isaac Adumako.
Yes, sir.
And it's such a pleasure. Congratulations to you and, of course, to your team on this big win. Now, I have a feeling that the nerves that we all had when the competition was neck and neck, I'm sure you probably felt it even more.
Yes, I did. And at the point in time, I only had to pray because we expected much from Newton. And then I realized that the pressure on him to deliver. And so when we got to the riddles, but before then, I realized that, or I saw it that the riddles were going to be difficult for the boys this time because it is finals. And I was not going to be like any past riddle or something like that. So I was just praying to get the riddles there. And lo and behold, we had one riddle there.
Wow. And I mean, I think we all went through that same sort of roller coaster. Expectations were very high because we had all seen how well these boys have performed in the past, and the competition was tough in that final. Let me talk to the three of you. Actually, before I come to you, is it true, Mr. Adumako, that you actually went to Mfantipim and then just saw the light later in life?
Yeah, I'm a mobile. And the Mfantipim coordinator is my classmate. Fifi Hope is my classmate. Yes. I sit behind him in class. He's a friend and a brother at the same time. But that day, Fifi was sitting beside me. We didn't talk to each other. We were all serious. Wow. Yes, I'm a mobile.
I see. Yeah. Well, nobody's perfect.
Yeah, I'm only doing my work.
You've done a great job. That's without question.
Yeah.
You've done a fantastic job with your team. Now let's talk to the boys. And Eliasson, as usual, you were in at the beginning, and you stuck through it until round 4 when you were relieved by Newton. But how did you feel as the questions started coming through? Because clearly they were, as Dr. Kaufman says, they had certainly escalated the challenge level of these questions. How did you feel as they kept coming through and each one was just a bit less familiar than you expected?
Initially, the questions were quite difficult, but we managed to stay through, and we punished schools who gave like answers that weren't up to the task. So we depended on a lot of bonuses, and I think some of our questions we missed. I think they said the questions were quite difficult. That's why we ended up with the 30s, a score in the 30s. But previously, we would have done better.
When you were preparing, were you preparing for more difficult questions? I'd love to hear Newton on this. Were you preparing for a more difficult, questions in the final?
Yes, we were preparing for more difficult questions in the finals. But our preparation, our genius set a lot of questions for us. And some of those contests, we score very low marks. And that was what was keeping our hopes high, because we knew that getting to the finals, you not get very easy questions.
So you kind of expected it, but
yes.
It still was a bit of a shake when you got the first true or false question wrong. No, the second one. You got the first one right, the second one wrong, and then another one wrong. What did you start to think at that point?
Oh, I think Joseph patted me and said that you can still do it. You just continue and analyze everything properly, and then we'll go through.
Now, I've always been curious about the effect of the crowd on you when you're sitting up there. Now, I know you said that you kind of, block it out, but Joseph, surely, especially in a final, when they react to every single thing you do, as soon as you put your hand up, even before you answer, they start cheering. Surely, that is not something you can block out, is it?
Not all the time, but you have to keep paying attention very. You have to pay attention very much, else you miss out some salient point in a question.
Yeah. So then you could hear the noise, but you have to pretend you can't hear it. Is that what you have to do? Act like you're in a library where it's quiet?
Yeah.
Amazing.
But even that's not so helpful sometimes.
Wow. All right, well, now you've won. Okay, so the pressure, the tension, all of that is gone. Now you are in victory mode. Tell me, how has the reaction been from your schoolmates, from your parents, from everybody who has been cheering you on throughout this?
Everybody has been happy. We're very happy that we were able to achieve this great feat. As well as we still can't believe that we are the NSMQ winners for the 2019. Maybe it will take some time to sink deep into us. Yeah.
Now, look, all of us in the room were calculating the points as we went along. Okay, so we knew when you had won, or when it was almost impossible for you to lose. Did you know as well? I mean, did you realize at a point that, were you counting the points yourselves?
When you are competing, it's not advisable to focus on your points because you might get distracted. So I think you have to focus on the questions. Full attention must be on the quiz mistress and the questions, because our coordinators teach us that when we go and we are contesting, we must contest against the questions. We shouldn't look at the schools or anyone. At the end of the day, the job will be done.
So you didn't know whether you were in the lead or...
You just have to forget.
Yes, because I have a feeling mine's like yours. You can do about 10 different calculations at the same time. So you knew where you were. And so did we, of course. Now, I want to come back to you, Doc. Throughout this tournament, you had cause to pull up some of the contestants for indiscipline, misbehaving. There was one time when I heard you have a stern word with St. Augustine's. It occurred to me that thing where they push the buzzer, they can't really be doing it on purpose. It seems a bit of like nerves or tension, or suddenly they get the answer and then they forget where they are and they push. I'm not just defending my voice, because other schools did the same thing. I felt as if perhaps they were being penalized for something that they're not doing intentionally.
Are you sure?
Well, I'm asking.
I've been around long enough to know all the tricks. I even anticipate the future tricks. If you ask them, they'll tell you it's a strategy. It can be a very powerful strategy to intimidate your opponent. So while they are speaking, you are pressing. They'll even stop talking. And when that happens, I actually pay more attention to who was, I sympathize with the school that was trying to present an answer. Because if you get distracted that way, you need to be focused. And you are being distracted by someone ringing the bell just to intimidate you. They know. So it's not always so innocent. It could be a strategy. There was one point, I don't know if it was these people, I told them, if it's your strategy to do it, you do it and I'll be deducting points. That's also my strategy, so we will match each other.
Oh boy. Elika.
Yes. So talking about strategies, it's one of the reasons why we started the penalty point system. Because the year we started doing the 3 schools, so in 2013, when we increased to 81 schools and we had 3 schools, we realized that we had to let people ring for the bell to be fair to everybody. And not just that, but we realized that people were deliberately ringing the bells when they didn't even know the questions or the answers to the questions, just to prevent someone else. That was their strategy. Because some of the answers we got to some questions were so ridiculous, we couldn't believe it. And that's why we put that there, to prevent people from maliciously blocking others from taking the bonus points. Same thing for the speed race. Because the first time we started the speed race, when we started it at the regional, because we like to try out new ideas from the regional competition, we realized that that's what they were doing. So I don't know the answer, but I'm going to prevent you from getting 3 full marks by ringing the bell and giving some ridiculous response to it. So you can only take 2 points, especially if it's a neck race. So the strategies, every year there's a strategy to counter whatever new thing we do.
And the talking of strategy and the fact that some of the contestants are quite conscious of what they're doing. I was asking whether they were keeping score. And one thing that made it clear to me that the contestants are definitely keeping score was when Presec pushed the buzzer on the first clue in the last riddle. So they knew that the only way to stay in the game was to get 5 points. So whether the clue was sufficient or not, they knew they had to press the buzzer and attempt an answer. Which tells you that they're calculating the points as they go along.
That is true.
I'm the only one who doesn't keep track of the scores. I have no idea what the scores are until they bring me.
They are calculating, so people have been asking us why we don't have digital boards there to show the marks that they are getting and so on. And I tell people that that's a technology. This is something that we used to do even 10 years ago. But we stopped doing because we realized that it puts extra pressure on the students. Because thinking or guessing that you are losing is not the same as seeing exactly what is going on. And so we realized that once we took it off the screens, people started calming down. And so that's why you don't have those. It's an old technology. We used to have it 10, 12, 15 years ago. We used to do that.
Would you prefer to have the scores up while you're competing?
No.
I can see why. Now, Mr. Adumako, I know that for a contest like this, you have to condition the boys to focus, concentrate, and drown out everything. But you yourself, you can't drown out everything. You're watching what the opponents are doing and what they're writing down, and what you can see more than they can. Do you wish sometimes that you could communicate with them?
Yes, but unfortunately you can't. And you can't, once they're on stage, you know, they're on their own now. So anything you have to do, you do it before you go on stage. I wish I could do that, but you can't.
So what sort of strategies do you use? Like, I'm imagining you as a football coach, you know. So Coach Kwesiapia, we're hoping, would research his opponents, you know, and find out where their strengths are and how they performed, and watch their previous performances and use that to form a strategy for his team. Do you do the same thing?
Yes. One of the headaches we had was selecting these 3 boys. There were 4, and they're all good. So to pick 3 out of the 4 was a headache. We had to do a series of tests, contests here and there, trial contests here and there. Still, it was very difficult because of the marks. Today, this one will have a high mark. Another time, we didn't know what to do. So we just decided to talk to them that we need to present 3 to prime time. And the last boy agreed. Yes, he's also good. And so we picked these 3 boys. You know that some of them, you give a workout, maybe Eliasin, Newton, they know that Eliasin might finish first. There's a speed race. So why don't we allow Eliasin to go for speed race rather than maybe to field Newton? So those are some of the strategies we're using.
How about your opponents? Do you study them as well?
Yeah, we watch all the contests. When you go on YouTube, you have the contest there. Like the one of the contests we nearly had wrong was the Tamale. We watched their contest, the previous, and we thought Tamale. So we're expecting 1.7 to put up
a stronger
fight. And lo and behold, Tamale was.
Angeli showed you small pepper.
So sometimes you have to be careful. Yeah. Yes. You watch their contest, but you have to be careful.
That's amazing. So now, St. Augustine's, and we talked about this at the launch, how, as a result of this quiz, schools are actually investing more in science and maths. So the old students of St. Augustine's College have, come together and provided a center for the students to practice. Tell us about that, Mr. Adumako, and what effect it's had on the contestants this year.
Oh, it helped them. I think the 2001 year group, they brought the computers, and they decided to also connect us to the internet, providing data almost every month. So anything that we want, we just go on the net and we have it there. And so sometimes when you give them research to do, especially their Form 2s, by the time you come, everything is there for you. It's really helped them. It's really did, yes. And some of these foreign books too. They brought some of these foreign books.
At what stage do you identify those who are talented and would do well in the quiz and then start grooming them? From first, second, or third? At what point do you identify?
Initially, we're picking them around Form 2, but we realized that was not helping. So we've gone back to Form 1. Yeah, so we pick you up from Form 1, and then we give you the rules. And you have to be disciplined. Yes, other than that. And as time goes on, we open up doors again. If there are any fresh guys who wants to come in, you write a test. If you beat the old ones, they have to leave. Yes, you leave.
Wow.
You leave. Then when another time it's open, you go and write again. Yes, so you come in. Eliasin, for instance, I think he didn't write the test, but his physics teacher came to tell me that no, he's teaching a boy and we need to see the boy. So then we brought in Eliasin and he proved the point. So he had a place.
Wow.
And one of them left because he came to replace somebody, so the person left. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Very competitive.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're hoping that other schools will also take a cue from this and start spending a bit more money on science and maths.
Most definitely. Most definitely. I've been saying this all along, that it's about the preparation, starting the preparation early. So I like what St. Augustine's just said about starting from Form 1, because some schools leave it till too late. The competition is so tough now. You can't wait till for a year to practice it. It's too late. Some have been practicing for a year ahead of you, so catching up and competing with them becomes really difficult. And not just that, but he also talked about financial investment in the team. Yeah. And I think that the schools that are doing that at a high level are seeing the benefits. I'm really happy for St. Augustine's. I'm happy they won it because it's proving the point that I've been saying. Last year they were not even at the national competition because they were taken out by Swedru at the regional competition. The year before they crashed out at the prelims and couldn't make it into the 1/8. So you see decline over a period of time. I don't think you have been seeded since 2015.
No, we've not been seeded.
Exactly. So decline over a period of time, and then now coming up. I had been jokingly, I'd been teasing my friends that Augustine's was a regional champion. Yeah. But they proved that this year when we did the maiden regional championship, and they won it. I'd been teasing them that they were always scoring high points at the regionals and not being able to do well at the national. And they've proven that they're true champions. When we did the competition and they won the regional championship for Central Region, they truly were the champions. So I'm really happy for them.
The questions are not the same in the regions.
Certainly not. But this is what the thing is. Central Region has a lot of schools that are top notch. Right. So if you are able to win Central Region, then you are a force to reckon with. Yes.
Then you come and face Dr. Kaufman. Now, we were joking yesterday that St. Augustine's has made it easier for parents across the country to decide which schools to advise their children to pick first. In that vein, I want to expand the conversation. Let's get you involved. If you want to ask a question, if you want to congratulate the winners, why don't you call us? Give us a quick call now. You know the numbers. We'll put them on your screen, and then you can give us a call if you have a question. You want to say something to any of the contestants, or to their teacher, or to the lovely Dr. Kaufman, or you want to give a suggestion to Prime Time on how you would like to see the quiz progress into the future, please give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. Now, let me come back to you guys. And I know that when we're talking about the quiz, you guys are very animated. That's your life, okay? Since Form 1, this is what you've been thinking about and all that. When I ask about your life outside the quiz, you get a bit more quiet and subdued and so forth. But right now, the quiz is over, right? It's over. What next? I'll start with you, Joseph.
I think I'll be preparing to go to university.
Okay. Do you know which one you want to go to?
Either KNUST or Legon.
Okay, now you wanted to be a doctor, right?
Okay.
Yes, in fact, all of you. Am I right? Except for you who wants to do something with computers. Electrical. Computers. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you're now going to start thinking about university, right? Okay. But you've still got the term to see out. You've got to see out the rest of the term, right? Or are you on vacation? You're not.
You're on vacation.
You're on vacation right now?
We are done with school.
You're done with school. Yeah. Okay. So right. So now you're just waiting for admission, and then you're going into university.
Yeah.
And then you become a doctor, and that's it. But you know, when you go into university, you'll be a celebrity, right? Are you prepared for that? Are you prepared for being recognized when you walk down the street?
Time will tell.
Time will tell. The number is 0302-211-691 or 692. Okay. We have Ben Bangwa on the phone from Timpani. Forgive me, Ben, if I've got your name wrong. Teach me. How do I say your last name, Ben?
Ben.
Yes, your last name. How do I say your last name? Can you hear me, Ben?
Yeah, it's Bangwa. You pronounce it rightly.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Now, listen to me on the phone rather than on the TV because there's a bit of a delay, okay?
Yes, so I can hear you.
There you go. So listen to me on the phone instead of the TV. Ben, good morning. Thank you for calling. What's on your mind?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ben is still listening to the TV. So Ben, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you right.
Just listen to me on the phone. If you listen on the TV, it will take too long for you to hear what I say. So
thank you.
Yeah. So tell me, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I just want to congratulate St. Augustine for this sterling performance. In fact, I schooled in Central Region and I know the schools. Central Region is the hub of the big name schools. So I only want to also advise them as a teacher and then a science scholar that they should not rely on any other thing, but they should focus on their career as young scientists. One day they will be able to bring people up. They shouldn't be gearing towards being medical doctors and the like, because it is the teacher who brought them up. So at least if one of them also becomes a teacher, he can be the best science teacher in Ghana or even outside. So that the generation will continue. That is my contribution.
Oh, thank you, Ben. Thank you very much, Ben. We'll see if any of them want to change their career following that call. Nuruddin is on the phone. Nuruddin is calling us from Hohoy. Nuruddin, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Long time.
It's been a while, hasn't it? Talk to us.
Sir.
What's on your mind?
You are looking good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I just love the boys there. I want to tell them I'm promising something for them. Seriously.
Oh, really?
I might be coming around to the school maybe next week to come and see them. I have some package for them.
Oh, that's nice. Nuruddin,
yes,
you know
very
me,
nice.
I know
package.
you. I'll hold
very
you to
nice
it.
package.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
But the distance is somehow far, so I will be coming next week.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a teacher, by the way, so I'll come and see them. I'm promising.
Oh, that's very kind.
Yes. Especially the one sitting at the center.
Newton.
I've forgotten the name.
Newton.
This guy, I need to take him to Canada. He's very good. He's very good. My regards to them. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Newton, a household name and face now. Ibrahim Seidu calls us from Kumasi. Good morning, Ibrahim. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, good morning.
What's on your mind?
I just want to congratulate our winners for a good performance.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim. Did you watch the whole competition?
Especially Newton. He has been so wonderful throughout the tournament, throughout the competition.
Yeah.
And I like the way he answers his questions with confidence and things like that. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for calling us, Ibrahim. You can call us too. The number will be on your screen shortly. Give us a call. Talk to us. Do you have suggestions? Do you have things you would like to see in upcoming quizzes? Let's hear from you. Gregory's on the line now. Gregory, good morning. Hello, Gregory.
Kojo.
There you are. Good morning. Thank you for calling.
Yeah. Good morning, Kojo. I can hear you very well.
Excellent.
Kojo, let me greet Dr. Kaufman and then I'm the managing director of Prime Time together with the gentleman and then their teacher. Kojo, one thing that I want to say, I'll deviate a little on the quiz mistress. Kojo, I used to watch her when I was younger. Dr. Kaufman, she was not, but all of a sudden, some 3, 4, 5 years. Kojo, I think Dr. Kaufman, fantastic. Because the way I used to enjoy Professor Iramadi, all of a sudden, Dr. Kaufman she has impressed me, and then I think I like the way she's strict. She loves at some point, and then I don't know how to put it, but I just want to congratulate the quiz mistress, and then want to urge her to continue. With the good things she's doing for this science and math quiz. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. I guess, like your questions, she thinks you've also improved with.
I have to. You can't stay the same
year
after year.
No doubt. But look, Dr. Kaufman is a national treasure. Let's not mince words. She certainly brings the quiz to life. Emmanuel is calling us from Wasa Amempi. Emmanuel Hassan, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling, Emmanuel. What's on your mind?
Yeah, okay. I just want to use this opportunity to congratulate the entire team of St. Augustine's College. That is the 3 contestants and the teacher. In fact, I'm very, very proud of them. I didn't attend St. Augustine, but I supported them yesterday. I'm very, very grateful to them, and then especially the quiz mistress, Dr. Kaufman. We wish to see more interesting quizzes ahead next year and beyond. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Thank you too. And all of those who didn't attend Augustine's but supported you guys, well, you guys are visionaries. Well done. But look, let me ask you this: does each of you have an individual moment in the contest that you would say was the most challenging, the most difficult, like the toughest question, or the toughest moment, most challenging time in the competition? Who has the mic? Yeah, Joseph, go on.
I think those are the true or false.
The true or false, eh?
Some of them were a bit confusing and contrary to our previous knowledge.
And that's something we'll talk about with Dr. Kaufman, actually, about the questions in just a moment. But let me hear from you as well, Newton. The first moment?
I also think the round one calculations too, some were very difficult. Sometimes you will like that, giving you another first school, they will give the answer that the first school didn't get so that you can match it with what. But the quiz is also improving, so they are also eliminating all holes for strategies.
I'll say the round one has been quite tough. The physics and chemistry calculations, they've really improved. So I think we also have to adjust. But this year the calculations were quite difficult.
Now, Doc, I spoke to some of the consultants who worked with you on the questions. And they were explaining to me that this year you wanted to focus more on the application of concepts. So not just the things that they've been taught to memorize and so forth, but how they can be applied in real life. So we noticed a couple of things, especially in the final. You were basing your questions on current affairs, like the discovery of the black hole and the thing with the Down syndrome and so forth.
Yes.
But do you think that unfortunately has exposed the weakness in our education system, the fact that we are teaching kids, very brilliant kids, some very complicated concepts, but not teaching them what they mean in real life?
That's a problem that has existed for a very long time. Yes, I've been talking about it. It's existed for a long time. So it's not this quiz that is exposing, we know it already. And so if this is bringing it, it's emphasizing it and bringing it more to the fore, then I'm happy. Because the schools, like I said, they always adjust. Every year they are better. And so when we bring these things up, they go back, they work on it, and then they are better the following year. So if they've noticed it, then I know we'll have better contestants next time.
There's a national conversation to be had there. Let's talk to Nana Kwame Achampo in Takrady. Good morning, Nana Kwame.
Well, good morning.
Thanks for calling us.
Yes. Actually, I want to congratulate Prime Time as well as Augustine for this win. My suggestion is that, if possible, for the next competitions for next year, for the problem of the day, if there could be a scanner for the for doctors to scan the solution onto the board rather than the student writing it. Sometimes it keeps us waiting for them to write it and then goes back and that. So if there could be a scanner that will scan for their solution and doctor will scan it onto the board, that would be good for prime time. That's my suggestion for you this morning.
All right.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day yourself, Nana Kwame. Well, there you go. That's a suggestion for you.
So that's why we had the electronic boards this year, so that they write directly on the boards. But we had a few issues with delivery, and so the set was built as if we were not going to be able to get it. And so we were not able to mount them, but they are going to be mounted, and we have to reinforce, build a new set, and they're going to be mounted on it so that everybody can see. But I think that this year, because they worked directly on the screens, the boards, it cuts down some of the waiting time. So we are going to be working on it. We are always looking to improve on the program. So we're going to be working on it. One thing I observed about this year's competition was the substitution. You see, everybody's talking about Newton, and everybody was talking about Newton meeting Nathaniel in the 4th round, and who would win that, challenge. And substitution is not new. We started it last year, except that the schools, I think it took a bit of time for them to catch on to it. So now that the big schools are also using substitution and winning with substitution, I'm sure that we'll see a lot more excitement also in subsequent
drama.
Yes.
So I have a suggestion.
Great.
And it's also about problem of the day, and because I work in radio and television, I'm aware of the silence. You can't have silence on radio. Can you imagine? You switch on your radio, you're listening to science and maths quiz, and there's nothing happening. But there's a lot happening. The boys are working hard, but as a listener, you can't participate in that. So I was wondering, perhaps for the future, if we can have maybe one of the consultants in the studio, so that while they are doing the work, the consultant can be explaining the problem to the audience. Okay, so because he's not there, they can't hear what he's saying. But those of us enjoying it at home, we can listen to him explain the problem, how he's expecting them to go through it. We can have the cameras showing what they're doing, so that the audience can figure out whether they're getting close to it or not.
That's a great idea.
What do you guys think? Yeah, we think that will work?
I think that could work if the TV crew would take it outside of the auditorium. So not in the studio as in here, but outside, because the consultants have to be present.
They have to be there.
They have to be present during the contest, because we don't know which. Only the quiz mistress knows which question is coming. Even they don't know which question is coming in.
I get it.
Okay. And they have to be there, because if there's a challenge, then they have to be able to resolve. Yes. Okay. So it's possible, because if we are doing a live broadcast, then it can be taken outside the auditorium to maybe the foyer. But
and then we can do it there. Yeah, that's an idea. We'll think about that.
Yes.
This has been fascinating, by the way. I mean, I was looking forward to this all morning. I'm so glad you all made it. I know you have to go on radio from here, where they'll probably ask you a lot of the same questions. I think you guys must be tired of us answering the same questions. This was the toughest moment, happiest moment. But we're enjoying you because of the achievements that you've chalked up, and you've inspired lots of other young people. I know it's a lot to put on your young shoulders, but just by doing a good job, you've proved to others that working hard yields results. So I hope that in your future careers you continue to exhibit the excellence that you demonstrated in this quiz. All right, congratulations to you all. Congratulations to Mr. Adomako, who has come from an unfortunate unfortunate place to triumph and victory with Augustine, and of course congratulations.
Now absolutely, yes,
yes, you are born again.
Yeah, born again.
Congratulations to Prime Time.
Thank you.
Another wonderful achievement.
Thank
Congratulations to you, Dr. Kaufman, for keeping us glued to our sets, making science and maths more interesting than football to many Ghanaians.
Good.
Very well done for that. Congratulations.
Thank you. There's one more set of congratulations that you haven't mentioned. Our sponsors.
Do you know what? I'll let you thank them personally before you go.
Great. Great. So would like to say a really big thank you to the GES. They are the main sponsors of the National Science and Maths Quiz. And we are really grateful for all the support. We couldn't have done this without them. I want to say a big thank you to our supporting sponsors, to GOIL. They sponsored the SciTech Fair, the mentorship sessions, and give us support for the tours. I would like to say thank you to Vimto for sponsoring the picnic, GCB Bank for the money zone. I think it's made a big difference to everybody who qualified from the quarterfinals. Yes. A big thank you to Prudential Life Insurance for the NSMQ star. They made a big difference in the lives of those, even at the prelims, who didn't progress beyond the prelims, and we are really grateful to them for all of that. I want to say thank you to GTP. They've been sponsoring the beautiful outfits, the fabrics for the beautiful outfits that the quiz mistresses have been wearing, and they've been a long-term sponsor. We are really grateful for every year's support. Thank you to Chika's Beads and Pink Pearl for the accessories as well. A big thank you to InterVarsity Adisia.com. It's a store, Adisia store, for the support. A very, very big thank you, excuse me, to our academic sponsors, Accra College of Medicine for the scholarship, medical school scholarship. They haven't had their assessment yet, so maybe, who knows, out of the group, maybe Joseph would get it. They haven't done their assessment yet. But yes, thank you very much. It's for 6 years of medical school. Thank you to Academic City. Adonai Ado of Opokuwari won that award. 4 years in their engineering program. Fully funded. Fully funded. Thank you to the Freshman Institute at Aachen University. They are also offering scholarships to full tuition scholarships. So for engineering, in any of their engineering programs. And so thank you to Kenya Airways and Adanse Travels for the wonderful treats in Dubai. I'm sure you are really excited about that. Thank you to everybody who supports us. Newmont, thank you for motivating the girls. I'm sure next year there will be more competition between the girls' schools for the award. Thank you to the Banfo family for instituting the Jacob and Elizabeth Banfo Award for the school with the most impressive run. That went to Tepa. And thank you so much. You're making a difference to the schools, the lesser known schools that may not think that they are going to go so far. I'm sure in some time to come, we'll see a lot more competition on that side. Yeah. Thank you to Bubune Adi in Fanspem 99. They won in 99. He instituted an award in memory of Professor Irama Adi. And this is the 5th year of the award. We thank him for all of that. Thank you to everybody who contributed in every way, any way at all, to the success of the program. Primetime staff, a whole year of hard work and sacrifice, the consultants and quiz mistresses. And I can't end this without saying a really, really, really big thank you to multimedia, especially to JoyNews, Joy FM, My Joy Online, YFM. Thank you, Class FM, for the coverage also. I want to say a big thank you to others supporting media houses, Daily Graphic, and all the others who gave us publicity. Thank you so much for all your support, for all your help.
And thank you all for coming. I'm told radio is waiting for you, so I better get out of your way. But when we come back, Namwan is back. Yeah, Disco didn't want to be left out of the parade. Nana Apia Mensa, of course, being the CEO of Men's Gold. He's back after a long time in Dubai where he had some legal difficulties. But now that he's here, what does that mean for the depositors who have been calling for their money back? That and more when we return.